Welcome to Salem Witch Trials Daily. I'm Josh Hutchinson.
This is Sarah Jack. On Tuesday, May 17, 1692, Constable John Putnam found a jury for the coroner's inquest into the death of Daniel Wilkins, who passed yesterday.
The jury of 12 included 3 Putnams. One of them was Thomas Putnam's brother, Edward. It also included Mary Walcott's father, Nathaniel Ingersoll, a relative of Daniel Wilkins, 2 men who testified against John Willard, a man who testified against William Hobbs, and a constable who testified against Sarah Good. The coroner's jury decided Daniel Wilkins was killed by diabolical means.
They described a bruised body with broken skin and many places on his back which seemed to be pricked with an instrument about the bigness of a small awl.
They concluded, quote, "We cannot but apprehend but that he died an unnatural death by some cruel hands of witchcraft or diabolical art, as is evident to us both by what we have seen and heard concerning his death."
Today, according to Sarah Bibber's June 3rd testimony, John Willard's shape allegedly afflicted her, Mercy Lewis, and Mary Walcott at Ingersoll's Tavern.
And John Hathorne and Jonathan Corwin issued new warrants today for the apprehension of the fugitives Elizabeth Colson, Daniel Andrew, and George Jacobs Jr. Susannah Sheldon testified against Elizabeth Colson, Mrs. White, John Willard, Mary English, Philip English, George Jacobs Jr., Rebecca Jacobs, Elizabeth Proctor, Sarah Buckley, Mary Whitteridge, and Elizabeth Hart. And Susannah described spectral attacks that she was allegedly experiencing night and day. And specifically, Susannah testified about the spectral activities of the last 2 days. She said that George Jacobs Jr. and his wife Rebecca had afflicted her on Sunday and tempted her to sign the devil's book. She also claimed that yesterday, George and Rebecca wanted her to sign the devil's book again. When Susannah said that she would not, Rebecca said she would stab her. Then Susannah received a sore wound on her left side. Then Elizabeth Colson stabbed her in the back, right against the other wound, so that she spent blood. Next, Elizabeth Proctor appeared and afflicted Susannah while tempting her to sign the book.
Today, Susannah Sheldon also made a lengthy statement against Philip English, Sarah Buckley, Mary Whitteridge, Bridget Bishop, Giles Corey, Martha Corey, and Mary English.
Susannah claimed that on Sunday, April 24th, during worship at the meeting house in Salem town, Philip English's specter left his body to step over his pew and pinch her, along with a woman which came from Boston, which said her name is Goody Y. On Susannah's way home, she was passing William Shaw's house when she supposedly met Philip English and, quote, "a black man with a high-crowned hat on his head and a book in his hand, holding the book to her." She said that Philip English told her that black man was her God, and if she would touch that book, he would not pinch her no more, nor nobody else should. The next day, according to Susannah, Philip English's specter came to her and pinched her and told her that if she would not touch the book, he would kill her. Then on April 26th, Sarah Buckley and her daughter Mary Whitteridge supposedly brought books in with them and told Susannah if she would touch their books, they wouldn't pinch her. But she refused, so they pinched her and went away. Then, as Susannah was sitting on the inside of the door sill, Sarah Buckley came and stopped her mouth and carried her away. Susannah did not know how Sarah was able to carry her, but she traveled nearly a mile. Sarah Buckley's specter supposedly said that now she had Susannah at her command. If Susannah would not sign the book, Sarah would kill her. Then the record abruptly switches to the scene of a rescue effort. William Shaw was plowing his father's field when he heard a fearful cry in a thicket of young wood. He entered the thicket and found Susannah Sheldon there screaming, breaking sticks, and fighting in a violent manner. Then, on the 27th of April, according to Susannah, Bridget Bishop, Philip English, Giles Corey, and a black man with a high-crowned hat, the devil, came to her with books in their hands. Bridget Bishop told Susannah to touch her book, but Susannah would not. She didn't know the specter's name until Bridget told her who she was. Bridget tried to get the signature again, but Susannah instead asked her how long she'd been a witch. The chatty specter told her she'd been a witch for more than 20 years. Then a snake crept over Bridget's shoulder and slithered down her bosom. Mary English, who was also there, held a yellow bird to her chest, while Giles Corey held 2 turtle doves to his, and the animals suckled. Then Giles Corey and Bridget Bishop knelt before Satan and prayed. The black man, also feeling chatty, decided to tell Susannah Sheldon that Bridget Bishop had been a witch for more than 20.5 years. The Specters and the devil bit Susannah and left. On the 28th of April, according to Susannah Sheldon, Giles Corey and Mary English came to her in the morning and told her she should not eat. She put a spoonful of food in her mouth, and Giles supposedly hit her on the ear and almost choked her. Then Giles laughed at Susannah and told her she would eat when he told her she should. He held Susannah's hands close so that she could not open them for more than 15 minutes. Next, Philip English showed up and told Susannah that he wouldn't bite her if she would just sign his book. She refused, so he bit her and left. April 29th, Susannah was reportedly visited by Bridget Bishop, Mary English, Giles Corey, and Martha Corey. Martha allegedly offered the devil's book to Susannah, surprise, surprise, who asked her where she lived. And the Martha Specter said, quote, she lived in Boston prison, and then she pulled out her breast, and the black man gave her a thing like a black pig. It had no hair on it, and she put it to her breast and gave it suck. And when it had sucked one breast, she put it on the other and gave it suck there. Then she gave it to the black man. Then they went to prayer, and the black man and Bridget Bishop told Susannah that Bridget had killed 4 women. 2 of them were the Foster's wives and John Trask's wife, and did not name the other. Then they did all bite Susannah and go away. Finally, on April 30th, Martha Corey allegedly choked Susannah and told her she would not eat when her dame told her to. So, also today, May 17th, George Herrick and Benjamin Wilkins made a statement against John Willard and Sarah Buckley. George Herrick was the outgoing marshal of Essex County, who would be replaced by a sheriff, George Corwin, on May 27th. Benjamin Wilkins was the uncle of Daniel Wilkins. According to George Herrick, when he got to Salem Village to meet a group of prisoners, he had to pinion John Willard in order to calm the afflicted persons. So he tied him up. And the afflicted persons were just always on hand for everything, so they were there. Once they were settled, George interviewed the people who were present and put together an account of what happened to Daniel Wilkins. The statement was signed by 11 men, including 5 members of the coroner's jury. According to the witnesses, on May 14th at about 10 a.m., Daniel Wilkins was taken speechless. He did not speak again until May 16th. In the meantime, people tried to feed Daniel a remedy, but he just spit it in their faces. The Wilkins family called for the French doctor, but he sent word that it was not a natural cause, but absolutely witchcraft to his judgment. And on the 16th, Mercy Lewis and Mary Walcott visited Daniel and said they saw the specters of John Willard and Goodwife Buckley hurting him and saying they would kill him. 3 hours later, Daniel was dead.